How do I inspire my children to love Allah? One of the most important things to keep in mind when it comes to our children is to focus on the internal. Many times children are taught the external actions, the external deeds, such as prayer, fasting in the month of Ramadan, wearing the hijab for the sisters, and so on and so forth. We find that there's a lot of emphasis on the external, but not always on the internal. So more importantly than only focusing on the external is to combine with it the spiritual aspect. So teach your children, for example, at a young age, who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let them learn about the names and attributes of Allah. Let them learn about the purpose of life, the existence of the afterlife, paradise and hellfire. Teach them about the stories of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Teach them about the stories throughout the Quran and lessons that you can extract from the children that are mentioned in the times of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. But most importantly, if you want your children to love Allah, you must lead by example. They will learn from their parents like no one else, meaning they will be influenced by your words and your actions more than just your words. So we want our children to love Allah. We should create an atmosphere in the home of loving Allah, connecting our children to the meanings of the Quran, implementing the Quran, motivating them with love, with hope, with mercy, with compassion, showing them the prophetic manners of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our dealings with our children. And ultimately, what we want for our children is to have love and consciousness of Allah wherever they are. Why? Because if the parent feels like the child is praying or fasting or doing something only out of fear because of the parent's presence, what happens then when the child is somewhere else or the parents are no longer around? Because they will not always be around. So we find that if you instill the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their hearts and the consciousness of Allah in their hearts from a young age and do not wait until later, you will find that inshallah this is something they will take with them wherever they go. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless our children and to make them amongst the righteous. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to lead by example. And Allah knows best.